Sleepless nights? Every night. I don't know where we're going to live or how we're going to live. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. We're going to go broke.
Retired Vietnam veteran with the Army Commendation Medal.
He has balance problems, and he's fallen a number of times.
I'm really angry because I got a bit of a disability myself, and it's hard for us to get out to shop. It's set up for disaster the way it is right now. The next time out the door could be the time.
I mean, I don't understand how somebody can be that cruel. And I know business is business, but that's ridiculous, and it affected nobody except Lyle and Nancy.
And it went from the grass being ground to, there's a dent in my garage. You got 30 days to get it corrected. I said, fine. And he said, and if it's not done in 30 days, you're going to go to jail. When I got out, he said, Miss Green, do you know that you have a warrant for your arrest? I'm treated like a criminal. I couldn't even go home to my family. I sat in there for 7 days. 7 days in the jailhouse,
People are getting threats, fines, foreclosures, and even jail time, not because of a mortgage or even property taxes, but because HOAs. Today we're going to look at some horror stories because of these mini government-like associations that people are just fed up with.
It's just hard to move.
It's a daily struggle for Nancy Hurst.
I have very bad rheumatoid arthritis.
Her wheelchair.
I have a motorized wheelchair.
And her husband, Lyle.
And he takes good care of me.
Keys to her life.
He was just out there making my lunch.
Lyle may not recall, but Nancy will be quick to tell you they've been married for 50 years.
Well, she's worth it.
Lyle, a retired Vietnam veteran.
Retired Vietnam veteran with the Army Commendation Medal.
But Lyle struggles himself getting around.
He has balance problems, and he's fallen a number of times.
And it was a recent fall that drew attention to the couple's handicap ramp.
Lyle tripped on the ramp, and when the policeman came to help him up, because I can't get him up, he saw that the wheelchair ramp was in disrepair.
The next week, the Mount Juliet Police Department's nonprofit youth program funded and organized efforts to build the Hurst a new ramp.
It was beautiful.
That should have been the end of the story. A Vietnam veteran and his wife needed a ramp to get in and out of their house. Police volunteers showed up and built them one. That's it, done. But here's the thing about a volunteer HOA board and how it actually operates. These are not bad people most of the time. They may have even started out wanting to help. But somewhere along the way, the rule book became more important than the people the rules were supposed to protect. And when a board sends a letter, it does not feel like a neighbor disagreement. It carries the threat of fines, liens, and legal action. Against a 50-year-old marriage, against a decorated veteran, against a woman who needs a motorized wheelchair to leave her own living room. The Fair Housing Act has specific provisions for disability accommodations. That ramp almost certainly qualified as protected modification. The board either didn't know that, or they knew it and sent the letter anyway. And there is no one above them at the local level whose job is to find out which one it is.
But a letter from Century Management on behalf of the HOA soon followed, saying the ramp was installed without permission and that it was blocking the sidewalk and a parking spot. The couple points out that the new ramp didn't take up much more space than the old one, a ramp they had built 8 years ago without approval and never had any issues. 2 months later, a follow-up letter was sent to the Hurst threatening potential legal steps, so Lyle and Nancy had the new ramp removed, leaving the Hurst feeling violated and bullied.
They have no heart. They should have sent somebody out here to talk to them, to realize the situation. I mean, I don't understand how somebody can be that cruel. And I know business is business, but that's ridiculous, and it affected nobody except Lyle and Nancy.
Those 2 letters to Lyle and Nancy should not exist. Cities across this country require new housing developments to form an HOA before the first unit is sold. The developer avoids responsibility for roads and common maintenance. The city collects full property taxes and provides almost nothing in return. And the people who buy those homes get a private governing body with enforcement power of a landlord and the accountability of pretty much nobody. What Century Management did here, they sent legal threat letters to a retired veteran and his wife over a wheelchair ramp. It's not even that uncommon. It's exactly what happens when you build a structure that has the authority to fine, lien, foreclose, and then classify any dispute about it is a private civil matter. The neighbor said it best. They have no heart. But the real problem is not the particular board's hearts. The problem is the system that does not require them to even have one. Lyle served his country. Nancy can't walk without her wheelchair. The next time they try to leave the house without that ramp, somebody might actually get hurt. And the HOA's attorney is still on retainer. So you have to ask, is this really about the ramp?
Look, I'm not saying that all HOAs are bad, but I just saw a home at today's auction get foreclosed on for $7,000. And before you say, oh, that could never happen to me, it can, and it does. And it literally happened today to a family. So here's what happened. The homeowner fell behind on their HOA dues. This is not their mortgage. This is not the taxes. It's the HOA dues.
Tell me this isn't crazy. An HOA can take your home for this. Here's how it actually works once you miss a payment. The HOA does not send you a reminder, they send it to an attorney. The attorney starts billing, and in most states, every notice, every letter, every email they generate goes on your account, not the HOA's. A $500 balance becomes $3,000, becomes $12,000 before you have time to figure out what even happened. I've watched a $600 HOA debt turn into a lien that wiped out a seller's net proceeds at the closing table. I've seen it. This isn't hypothetical.
Of course, it started adding up after a few months. Then they added fees to that. And so the HOA puts a lien on the property, and they can, like in this case, push it all the way into a foreclosure. And in this case, over $7,000. Most homeowners don't realize how much power homeowners associations or HOAs have. In some certain communities, they can have covenants in place that could allow them to put a lien on the property and push it into a sale, even if you're up to date on your mortgage.
The people who bought that family's home at auction are not buyers who just needed a place to live. They're investors who watch HOA delinquency court dockets the same way you might watch a stock. They knew what that property was worth. They paid far less than that because the system allowed it. A family lost their home over $7,000 in unpaid dues. That home at auction did not sell for $7,000. It sold for multiples of that. Family doesn't get made whole on the difference. The attorney collects fees. The HOA collects its dues. Whatever remains, if anything, may or may not work its way back to the original owner depending on your state. Real estate speculators are the only consistent winners in this kind of setup. They aren't doing anything illegal. They're doing exactly what the law permits them to do. And the family whose home just went to auction didn't know that was possible because no one told them when they bought. Do not ignore HOA letters. Not because the HOA deserves compliance, because the investors waiting for you to miss that payment are already watching and waiting.
Howard Konitz never thought he'd be in this situation at 79 years old.
We can't afford it. We can't afford it. We're going to go broke.
Konitz and his wife Sheila have lived in their 2-bedroom, 2-bath Williams Island condo for 10 years. The retired couple had their financial future all planned out.
Elevator modernization.
That was until they were recently hit with a special assessment.
The total assessment for the apartment we're sitting in is what?
Approximately $224,000.
When you say that number, can you believe it?
No, not at all.
That's on top of their monthly maintenance that's gone from $1,500 to $3,000.
We never anticipated to have this escalation.
They should not have had to. This is not a surprise to anyone who is paying attention, except the people who were supposed to be paying attention and chose not to. HOA boards set dues. They also decide whether to build reserves. Money set aside for major repairs down the road or keep dues low so nobody complains at the annual meeting. Low dues are popular. Nobody wins a board election by promising higher fees. So boards underfund reserves for years, sometimes for decades. And the building ages on its own timeline, regardless of what the board decides to fund. The roof, the concrete, the elevators, none of those things care about the budget. Then a law changes after a catastrophe, or an engineer files a report, and suddenly the board has to make up 20 years of deferred maintenance in a single assessment. And the person who gets the bill is not the board member or the management company who made these decisions 5 or 10 years ago. It is Howard and his wife, a 79-year-old retired couple who had their finances planned out. 84% of newly built homes in 2022 were in an HOA. If you bought in the last decade, your choices were limited and will continue to be.
According to Condo Doc's assessments in Mediterranean Village in Williams Island, where Konitz lives, are as high as $400,000 for just one apartment. Projects budgeted for his building include everything from consultants to roofing, concrete restoration, elevator modernization, termite treatment, and $700,000 alone for landscaping.
Somebody also told me, well, if you're not able to pay, you shouldn't be living here.
The assessments at Williams Island can't be passed on to a potential buyer. Konitz has had his condo on the market and has dropped the price several times. He was turned down for a reverse mortgage by a lender due to strict condo rules.
Maybe I can give it away for pennies on the dollar.
He is not alone.
What makes this so insane to me is the amounts, but it's also that there is no law protecting Howard from it. In most states, a board can levy a special assessment with no cap, no homeowner vote, and no required warning period. The board meets, the board decides, and you get a bill, and then the lien goes on your home you planned your retirement around. He said maybe he can give it away for pennies on the dollar. He has been in that home for 10 years. That is not a sale. It is him surrendering what belongs to him over something he never had control over.
You can get siege, you can do something, but you got 30 days to get it corrected. I said, fine. And he said, and if it's not done in 30 days, you're going to go to jail.
Read that back. A judge told a homeowner she would go to jail if the grass was not a specific color within 30 days. That does not happen because an HOA sends a letter about brown grass. Happens because the HOA's attorney converts that letter into a lawsuit, into a court order, and then files a contempt motion when they feel like the process is not moving fast enough. At every single step, that attorney is billing, and every step adds cost to a debt Irina already cannot afford. This is what the suing yourself problem actually looks like in practice. Irina pays HOA dues every month. Her HOA used the money to retain an attorney. That attorney is the one who escalated a law citation into a criminal contempt case. She was literally funding the legal team that had her arrested. It's not like Irina didn't try. She sold her van to pay for the compliance. She bought grass seed. She cleaned the mailbox. The attorney filed the contempt motion anyway, because this case was still open, and open cases are still billable.
Green says she spent the next month correcting the violations.
I sold my van to comply. My mailbox was clean. I bought seeds and watered my grass.
But she missed her next court date.
I was supposed to receive documentation. Nothing was sent to my home. And I reached out to the courthouse several times to try to find out when was my court date.
The judge signed an order holding Green in contempt of court and issued a warrant for her arrest at the HOA attorney's request.
It is pretty extreme. It certainly is, yeah.
After picking up her 15-year-old daughter from cheerleading practice.
When I got out, he said, Ms. Green, do you know that you have a warrant for your arrest?
She was taken to the Orient Road Jail.
If they got you handcuffed behind your back?
Yes, I'm treated like a criminal.
At the jail, she got more bad news.
There was no bond, so I couldn't even go home to my family. I sat in there for 7 days. 7 days in the jailhouse, like a criminal.
You're probably going to ask, where was the city? Why didn't somebody step in? An HOA dispute is a civil matter. Local police cannot intervene, even if that organization has the legal authority to put a lien on your house. Your city council member has no jurisdiction. Nobody above the HOA's attorney is required to do anything. Convenient, right? She went to jail over brown grass. No one above the HOA's attorney thought this was worth a single phone call. Now, if you know someone who has been in a situation like Irina's, where they tried to comply and still got buried, drop that in comments below.
We got a letter on June 5th of this year letting us know that a roof project was underway and that every homeowner would have to pay $17,000 towards a $2.5 million assessment to replace the roofs of our homes for a storm that happened 2 years ago. A storm that none of the homeowners have seen any visible damage of. They started work 4 days later, not giving any of the homeowners any time to dispute, voice concerns, and since then, so many emails and phone calls from homeowners to our property management company have gone unanswered. Owners were told that they have until July 31st to pay the $17,000, and were not given any sort of installment options, anywhere to go for support.
They're not overreacting. 4 days notice to come up with $17,000 or get a lien on your home. No documentation provided, no installment plan offered. Work started before a single homeowner had time to dispute, verify, or ask a single question. But the detail you need to hear, if you didn't catch it the first time, is this. The roofing company doing this work is owned by the property management company. Think about what that means. The management company gets paid every month to oversee the community's maintenance. They are the ones who decide when the maintenance is needed. They put out the request for bids, and then they award the $2.5 million contract to a company they own. Not a competitive bid, no independent review. They identified the problem, created the solution, and are collecting twice. Once as the management company and once as a contractor. This is exactly what kickbacks look like inside an HOA structure, not a bag of cash in a parking lot, but a corporate structure where the entity watching the money is also the entity receiving it. And 147 families are paying for it whether they know it or not.
I have water coming in from my roof, my brand new roof, essentially. It was replaced in July of last year forcibly by my HOA, and I had to pay $17,000 as well as 146 other homeowners in my HOA. And now there's water coming in, and I'm not the only one. There's a handful of homeowners with water, some much worse than mine. I'm fortunate that it's not running down the door or the wall. But I wanted to get your opinion. So we've obviously contacted our property management company, the roofing company, and we're like, hey, remember us? We were frustrated last year because you guys were doing work in downpouring rain and did work so fast, and we just wanted you to stop and give us some evidence that it needed to be done. And here we are. So brand new roofs, and we have a number of homeowners that have water coming in. What I've been told is that this is from natural causes and that it's normal. We had a big snowstorm in Minnesota, lots of wind and snow, and that the water coming in is just normal, that, snow can get into the attic, it melts and runs down through your ceiling. So I just wonder if anybody is a roofing expert or has any maybe leads in that area. Where is it normal if you have a neighborhood of over 140 some houses that the roofs were all replaced by the same company, and now quite a handful of them are having water coming in. What's the likelihood that that is from natural causes or from potentially improper installation or quick working again while it was downpouring rain? I mean, I should do a story time on the whole thing, but we had a lawsuit. We hired an attorney trying to get them to slow down the work, and it felt like they just sped up. They were working early hours in the morning. We had neighbors calling the police because they were on the roofs so early. And we have videos of them working in downpouring rain, ripping shingles off of buildings.
The money is collected, the work is done, and now the roofs are leaking. When there is no separation between the company deciding your building needs maintenance and the company getting paid to perform that maintenance. There is no one in that building looking out for you. Nobody. The board hired the management company. The management company owns the contractor. The contractor did the work fast, in the rain, early in the morning, while neighbors called the police, collected the money, and moved on. So who do you call when the roof leaks? The contractor? Who owns the contractor? The management company? Who hired the management company? The board? And the board is 3 neighbors who volunteered for unpaid job and have no background in construction oversight. She said 147 homeowners are in this with her. They are already talking to attorneys and filing complaints with the state. Nobody has given them a straight answer. Now, if you've ever been hit with a special assessment you never saw coming, drop the number below. I want to see how far this actually goes. So every story you've seen today has same thing in common. The boards that tell veterans to take down their ramp. The attorneys that drive homeowners to jail over brown grass. The management companies collecting billions while your building falls apart. Nobody above any of them is required to check a single thing. The system is not broken. It's built this way. So let me know if you think this needs to change. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.